Who's the most evil person you've ever met? My mother worked as a hospice nurse, caring for dying patients in their homes. She was incredible at her job, gentle, compassionate, and devoted to making her patients' final days peaceful. But everything changed when she met Richard. Richard was a wealthy businessman in his 70s with terminal cancer. He lived alone in this massive house after his wife passed away years earlier. No kids, no family nearby, just him and a small army of caretakers he cycled through because he was impossible to deal with. My mother was assigned as his night nurse. The first few weeks were rough. He'd throw things at her, call her horrible names, and refuse medication just to be difficult. But my mom didn't quit like the others. She stayed calm and professional, no matter what he did. After about a month, his attitude completely changed. He became sweet, almost charming. He'd tell my mom stories about his life, ask about her family, even remember my birthday and send gifts. My mom was thrilled, thinking she'd finally broken through to him. Then he dropped the bomb. He was changing his will to leave everything to her. The house, his investments, all of it. Around $12 million total. My mom tried to refuse, saying it wasn't ethical, but Richard insisted. He said she was the only person who'd shown him real kindness in years. That's when things got weird. He started having private meetings with his lawyer. He'd ask my mom to sign papers she hadn't read. When she questioned anything, he'd fly into a rage, threatening to report her for elder abuse. One night, I was helping my mom organize her nursing supplies when I found a stack of papers hidden in her bag. They weren't medical records or care notes. They were confessions, dozens of them, all in Richard's handwriting, detailing horrible things he'd done. He'd embezzled millions from his company's pension fund, leaving hundreds of retirees broke. He'd paid people to hurt his business rivals. He'd even covered up his wife's accidental death after she discovered what he was doing. The confessions were dated over the past month, all during my mom's shifts. She'd been documenting everything, building a case. When I confronted her, she broke down and explained. Richard wasn't changing his will out of gratitude. He was trying to implicate her in his crimes. If she inherited his money, it would look like she'd been his accomplice all along. He'd set it up so she'd take the fall after he died. My mom went to the FBI the next day with everything she'd gathered. They moved fast, arresting Richard and freezing his assets. Turns out they'd been investigating him for years but could never prove anything. My mom's evidence gave them everything they needed. Richard died in prison 3 months later. They found more evidence in his house, detailed plans showing how he'd manipulated and framed every nurse before my mom. He'd done this before, ruining multiple caregivers' lives for fun. The pension money was returned to the retirees. Richard's wife's death was reinvestigated. My mom testified at multiple trials, helping put away his co-conspirators. She even started a support group for other nurses who'd been targeted by wealthy patients. Last week, my mom retired after 30 years of nursing. At her party, one of the FBI agents who worked the case gave a speech. He said in all his years investigating financial crimes, he'd never seen evil quite like Richard, a man who spent his final days trying to destroy the person caring for him. The house where Richard lived was torn down last month. They're building a retirement home on the property, funded by his seized assets. My mom's going to volunteer there. She says it feels right, turning the place where he planned so much evil into somewhere that helps people.